Well, first of all, I just want to say the reason I chose this option of influential is because it kind of goes home to me. It's wrestling is something I got my grandfather into, and he passed away because of the coronavirus recently. It was 2 weeks. So this kind of I want to end it on a sweet note if this is our last podcast.
Well, rest in peace to your grandfather, and definitely condolences to you and your family, man. And we're here for you no matter what.
Same here.
Thank you. Okay, Alan, so we're going to start with you.
My number one most influential wrestler has got to be the show-off Dolph Ziggler.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Come on, bring it on.
I kind of fell off the wrestling wagon, so to speak, around the time I was in college, I'll say. I was super busy. I didn't have cable. There weren't as many sources to watch what you may have missed back then. I'm a little, I went to college late 2000s, early 2010s. So maybe there were, but I wasn't tech savvy enough. I don't know. Either way, when I got back in, it was January of 2012. And Dolph Ziggler at that point was flashy. He was motivated. He had Vicky Guerrero by his side. And everything he did, I was like, this is the coolest guy on the roster. And he wasn't a flippy guy, he was very I don't want to say basic, but his moveset wasn't super complicated. But the way he sold moves, the way he took offense, I was like, this guy's trying harder than anybody I've ever seen. He had the blonde hair, it would whip around. He was the show-off. He was arrogant. And he had a run from the time I started watching in 2012 where fans really started to pick up. And they didn't, when I first started, they didn't. Because the first match I ever saw in a pay-per-view with him live was Royal Rumble 2012 when he took on CM Punk. And he lost, obviously. And then he came back for the Rumble. And he had some cool moments. He went one-on-one with Karma. But just little moments like that, I was like, this guy's got it. Like, this guy's got something special. And as the year progressed, he started to get the Let's Go Ziggler chants. So I just rode that with him from 2012 on. And I was in the house when he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And to me, that's the coolest moment I've ever been in person at a wrestling event for, especially because he's my favorite wrestler. And I got all his merch. I just love the guy. I have never liked a wrestler more than Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, that was a good pick. I don't know. I remember when he won the world title after WrestleMania. That, man, everyone went crazy for that moment. So what about you, Carl?
To me, is the GOAT. I've had this debate with countless of people who don't believe Shawn is the greatest of all time. My opinion, he is. From him as a rocker to a tag team, to him breaking off with Mark Jannetty, one of the greatest promos at the barbershop, kicking him in the face, to being with Sensational Sherry, then having Diesel, cool dude with attitudes, the leader of D-Generation X, starting that. And for me, it was just, and I know you said you were at the house to see Dolph Ziggler. My moment was, which I thought was supposed to be Shawn's final match at 26, which I was able to attend, which was a great match, by the way. Take a Shawn 2. I was able to see my top two superstars duke it out. And
that's a dream, man.
That's a dream.
Yeah, and for me, that was great. And even the following year, I saw, I was there when him, Taker, and Taker, Shawn, and Triple H walked out of WrestleMania, I think 27, right?
That was Miami?
28.
Yeah,
28, where they all walked out together.
The end of the era.
Like it was a tremendous moment when they all hugged each other. So for me, it's Shawn, and Shawn is just a great in-ring ability. He Mr. WrestleMania. He makes losing look good. I can't say enough about Shawn and Undertaker. Those guys have really influenced me in terms of watching wrestling.
Great shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
It's one of the best wrestling shirts of all time.
Viva la raza!
I got hooked on Eddie because of that. You know, my first language was Spanish, so I kind of had already that Hispanic connection. I remember when he passed away, I cried so much. I've never cried,
I did
and I
too,
remember
man.
my grandfather and my dad telling me, they
Yeah,
were
yeah, I
they were
did
telling
too,
me,
man.
look,
I
it's
shed, yeah,
part
I
of life.
remember that day. I shed some tears too, man. It was hard.
Yeah, it was horrible, and it's crazy because when I remember as a kid, remember when I see Eddie smile, I would see my grandfather and my dad smile. So that went home. And recently, when my grandfather's passing, I was like, I have to talk about this. It's wrestling, something I love, and my grandfather, something that I love. So for me, Eddie is one of the most influential, just because of that moment. He made me watch wrestling with my grandfather and my dad. So for me, that right there, no one can take away from me. We shared so many moments watching wrestling and all that, just because of him, his charismatic way, his charm, his smile, his Viva la Raza, all that.